Oh, we got to talk about realignment.
Here we go. Wednesday, 5:30. Overtime opinions. And not a familiar voice to start off the show, of course. Usually Will McCarthy says the what does he say, Pressman, to start off? What's McCarthy's line when he starts off?
Oh,
we've done the show so many times.
We've done it so many times. I have this memorized. Live from 91.3 WVUD HD1 FM radio and Hen Sportscast 24/7 HD3. You're listening to Overtime Opinions. Live with Will Spinetta McCarthy, Tim Shugza, and Jason Pressman. I've memorized that whole thing.
There you go.
From start to finish.
There you go, kid.
Because I've listened to it so much. It's Will over and over again.
There you go. No Will today. He's on the ESPN Plus broadcast of Delaware men's baseball against the LaSalle Explorers, if I'm not mistaken. But instead, Pressman, we have a couple special guests. Two of our closest pals here, two of the best friends of the WVUD radio. Often, I think this is JJ. JJ's second appearance, at least this semester. JJ Rella is here. JJ, what do you have to say to the multitudes that are listening right now?
Hello, everyone. I'm back. Pretty short notice. I'm back, actually. I think this is my second show of the semester already. Glad to be back. Will normally does a different kind of introduction. I'm getting used to this. Tim. It's Tim and Rain. Tim Rains. Yes. But I'm excited to be back on. Excited to be with our next special guest, who I haven't seen in a while.
Yes. A legend, some would say. Some would say, if you ask Jared Wasserman, he might say differently. We go to Delaware Dan in the middle.
What's up, Tim? Thanks for giving me the call, man. This is cool to, Tim has the reins on the big kid side of the desk, so it's easy to just show up.
Be careful.
Hang out with my guys, Press and JJ, and just get a feel for OTO, man. This is, really more of a prime time spot even than Jared's spot. Jared has like the early drive time spot.
He sets us up. He's the
This is prime time, though, see?
Yep.
This is prime time, and I just think I wanted to mention that I'm especially excited to be in the prime time window rather than like the junior window that Jared's show occupies.
The prelims.
Right. The warm-up. Yeah.
Of course. Dan, usually the host of the J&J Sports Report, which could be back next week. The Wassermans are at Villanova.
Yeah, assuming there's no Villanova conflict. It seems like, Villanova men's basketball is taking a certain amount of priority for them. Okay.
Against the Butler Bulldogs in the Pavilion in the greater Villanova, Pennsylvania area. Pressman, where should we start off today?
Well, let's start out with MLB. Spring training is taking its way. Nick Castellanos has been released from Philadelphia, and he found a new home in San Diego. The Padres have taken a chance on him. I don't know how much I like this move. Castellanos showed a lot of decline in his last season in Philadelphia, and the Padres haven't really been the Padres that they normally are. They've suffered a lot of roster moves, a lot of loss in free agency and trades. Haven't really made the best decisions in the recent few years. I don't know how much I really like this, bringing an aging superstar to a team that is, aging and dysfunctional. Sure, they might still be a playoff team, but I don't know how much that really counts when you have to see the Dodgers a lot of times during the regular season and maybe once again in the postseason. So I don't know how much I really like this move, but we'll see it throughout the course of the year. Obviously, it's just spring training right now, but this can give you a preview into how teams will play later down the line.
Right, spring training, and I'll swing it over to JJ and Dan. It's kind of like NFL preseason, right? You get to see some players, some prospects maybe come up, play, but once game one happens at the regular season later on in March, that's when real baseball starts. That's when you really start paying attention. So any takeaways that you guys have? JJ's obviously a big Yankees guy. Dan, a big Orioles fan. A couple big signings for both of those squads so far this off season. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think that spring training is a really good time to look at the younger guys. The spring training is really just like a warm-up for MLB players. Maybe like a pitcher's trying a new pitch. If I'm seeing that online, I'll make sure to take a look because that obviously impacts a lot of what they do in the routines, which is really important and could also impact how they perform during the season. Like I saw Devin Williams was adding a new pitch, and that really caught my eye. Like him with an extra pitch on top of that deadly, if you even want to call it a changeup, like that's one of the best pitches in baseball. So that's definitely an important thing to keep an eye out, like different introductions to new pitches. Differences in swings too, I guess, but really just new prospects and players that really stand out. I don't want to know if you want to call them new, but the Pirates' #1 prospect, like top prospect in baseball, I'm blanking on his name right now.
Connor Griffin.
So bad. Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
MLB The Show legend, by the way, if anyone plays. His swing was really good in the last game, but his swing's really good in real life, too. He took Ranger Suarez deep in the last game. And also had another home run on top of that. He's going to be one of the best players in the sport in 5 years, and there's almost like no debate in my head about it. He's very, very talented. So like stuff like that I'm trying to keeping an eye on, but in reality, the World Baseball Classic is taking up a lot of my time now with preparations.
To Pressman's point about Castellanos, I'm interested to see just where the Padres play him and how much they play him. Castellanos isn't coming in with the same pedigree that he had when he entered Philadelphia, right? And the way it ended in Philadelphia was bad optics for Nick. So with the Padres, though, it's kind of like a neat fit, in my opinion, just because on the surface level, at least on the vibes level, the Padres we're used to seeing them like sign bigger name guys over the last few years. Like the Padres are very active with it. Just feels like such a typical Padres move. Now Castellanos can hit when he's hot. It comes and goes for Castellanos. I'm curious to see how much he's inserted at first base. I saw they've tried him at first base. Gavin Sheets projected starting first baseman, but then Sheets is an outfielder by trade too. So the Padres trying to plug in at first base. It'd just be interesting to see Castellanos situated there. It makes sense because Castellanos isn't like inherently above average fielder to my recollection. So even though Castellanos had some moments in Philadelphia where a sliding catch by Castellanos.
What comes to mind is that World Series game against Houston where he made the diving catch, saved the game for you. But overall,
so there are highlights. But I'm just interested to see if Castellanos has that big a role, because you think about the Padres, they already have their known stars. They have Tatis in the outfield. Jackson Merrill's a really good young center fielder. You look at Manny Machado, I know all about him. I mean, I'm not saying Machado's a little known player, but you mentioned Baltimore, Tim, so I have to say I know all about Machado. And my friend Jared, he knows Machado. I mean, he goes back with him. Yes. Anyway,
they would get along well, I think.
So the point is the Padres. Castellanos is definitely somebody I'm following just because of being familiar with him from Philly. And it's interesting, like the Padres, Phils, they could run into each other in the postseason in the National League. Imagine that. Imagine Castellanos going back to Philadelphia.
Bringing a beer to the dugout.
Yeah, bringing a beer to the home dugout at Citizens Bank Park for one old time's sake.
Yes. That would go over really poorly.
I don't know what's going to go over better, either that or when Bo Bichette eventually goes to Philadelphia for the first time. He will get booed heavily when that happens.
I mean, Castellanos had a 1 percentile fielding run value in the outfield last year. He is not a good fielder. No. He is very much a DH or bust, and the Padres don't really have that great of a lineup, to my recollection. I mean, Machado and Tatis are both solid. They're going to be consistent year by year. And I mean, I honestly think Tatis is only getting better. He maybe isn't the player we thought he was going to be before he got suspended, but the juice ball too was he was definitely a prime juice baller too. But he's definitely got the full package, and that we can say for sure. So, but they also, like Dan said, like they make these big moves like so recently, and then it seems like they sort of cooled off. But then they pick times to pick back up, which it doesn't really make sense. Like they made that huge move for Mason Miller, but Leo DeVry is probably one of the best prospects in baseball too. He's going to be a really good player one day, I think. So it's really weird how they make their decisions, and their front office. I mean, they're known for having a really interesting front office. So it's interesting to see where they go from here. Especially after what they had to go through this offseason. They lost Luis Arias, they lost Dylan Cease. It's going to be an interesting season for them. I think they're going to cool it off, and I think it'll be time for a team like the Pirates or the Reds to make that surprise run to being maybe a 5 seed, because the NL is really stacked. So the Mets have to make the playoffs this year too. If they don't, it's just over. Sell the team.
Yeah, let's talk about the NL real quick and basically the whole landscape of Major League Baseball as we know it. The Dodgers are the team to beat this season. And for in the foreseeable future, if the Dodgers make another run to the championship, it's not going to look good for a lot of teams. They have been absolute bullies in the offseason, poaching players left and right from almost everyone in baseball, hitting those high target free agents, basically saying to hell with Moneyball and just throwing money away. And I wonder if this will kind of cause more discussion if they do go all the way again. Will there be a lockout? Will there be more talks around a salary cap or a salary floor?
Well, I don't even think a possible work stoppage hinges on what the Dodgers do, like how far they get in October. There's going to be some kind of pause here. There's going to, it's all people have known for like what years, like after the 2026 regular season or the 2026 season period, there's going to be discussion over this. But the Dodgers have totally heightened it by this offseason, just this offseason. To your point, Press. I
think if they win, it'll be more.
Yeah, it'll be even more magnified. I've got some optimism though. Anti-Dodger sentiment, like the National League. Let's take a closer look at the NL. Right to your introduction, Pressman. I'm looking at. The Pirates just got brought up. Nobody's turned to the Pirates to save the sport and beat the Dodgers. That's not my suggestion. But I do like the NL Central. Like the fact that the Pirates have some offense to their column now, and that young rotation. Obviously, Skeens is the headliner. Think about Bubba Chandler, Mitch Keller. Obviously, Keller's already a big leaguer. Chandler, I'm excited to see more of. Connor Griffin. Imagine he gets the opening day start. Like
he deserves it.
That would be so good for the Pirates and for that.
They just
division.
have no defense.
Yeah, they're not going to field well.
They're going to have a million errors.
Yeah, and it's like you're counting on a lot of swing and miss stuff from the Pirates pitching. And I just said the Pirates pitching is so good, but it's like I don't know if they have even as much like swing and miss. I mean, Skeens is obviously hard to hit.
He's an outlier.
Yeah, it's not the same top to bottom in the rotation. I do think the Pirates being like, can you get them past 500 or like even like in the mix, along with the teams that are better than the Pirates, which are the Brewers and the Reds trailing the Cubs. Like, that's a pretty strong division. The Braves, Mets, if the Braves are healthier and the Mets get Lindor healthy, okay, the Mets have young pitching. They added Peralta. That's going to be notable. Phillies have a lot of potential. And that's all without mentioning the NL West where the Padres are at least they're not the Angels. Like, the Padres at least like actually make a good effort. So the Dodgers aren't going to just like stroll right through everything, but they are clearing away the best bunch, obviously.
But let's go through this again, because I feel like we had the same conversation with last year's NL. Like, oh my, the NL is so stacked. The Dodgers aren't going to run through it. What happened? They swept almost every team they played against until they got to the World Series.
We gave them a good fight.
You guys won one game.
Yeah, we a couple other ones won the extra innings.
I want to venture to. I mean, you're somewhat right. Like the NL probably isn't as good as we're saying it to be.
It keeps getting brought up that the NL is stacked, but then the Dodgers run it through it like butter.
But let's not talk about how the Dodgers were one bad play away from losing the World Series in the first place, like to the Blue Jays. It's not like they're unbeatable. The Blue Jays took them to 7, and honestly, the Blue Jays, going into the season, did anyone have the Blue Jays making the World Series, let alone beating the Dodgers? Like, that was a crazy thought at the time. And then they went up 3-2 in that series, and if Kike Hernandez doesn't catch that ball, or what? It wasn't Kike Hernandez, was it?
In the outfield, you're thinking?
It was. They ran into each other.
Yeah,
it was.
It was
Paez and Kike ran into each other or something.
Yeah,
and they made like a miraculous catch. If that ball gets dropped, what happens then? You know what I'm saying? Like
if Rojas
baseball
doesn't go yard.
Baseball is baseball is such a sport of every play builds on the last one. You can't really think about what happens before because you need to just go towards the next pitch, and every pitch means something. The Dodgers are definitely beatable. I just don't know if the team is in the NL necessarily, but I think the NL definitely got a little bit better. At least we saw some production from some teams that normally don't do anything.
And I think the thing is that JJ brings up a very interesting point, is that baseball is a sport where if you get hot for a short period of time, that can, forget about the 162. If you can get to the playoffs, it's a brand new game, and obviously that's in every sport, but maybe more so magnified in baseball. The point I've been trying to make about the Dodgers is if you can use the MLB playoff format to your advantage if you're one of these teams, right? Let's just say we were talking about the Pirates. This is bank on the fact that the Dodgers are not the 1 or 2 seed in the National League. Unlikely, I would say, at this point. But let's just say, for instance, maybe the Padres have an exceptional season and beat out the Dodgers.
Let's say the Brewers have another good season.
Yeah, however it works out that the Dodgers don't get the 1 or 2 seed. Let's just say they end up playing the Padres in the first round. You're going to have to face Skeens in one game.
Wait, you're saying the Pirates?
Sorry, the Pirates.
Okay, the Pirates. I don't think the Pirates are getting in, but we'll invite it for Ethan.
As like a last seed in the NL, you really don't think they can make it?
I mean, the Reds made it, so
the Reds were not good.
Respect the Reds, though. Respect the Reds.
I don't.
I mean, the Mets
Reds.
collapsed at the right time. The Reds got hot at the right time.
The Reds front office. I don't like the Reds front office at all. The Pirates at least tried this offseason.
Who wants to play sports in Cincinnati? That's the real thing.
It's questionable whether
in football or baseball. No one wants to play in Cincinnati.
In football, I can name 3 people who just signed really big extensions.
Really cool.
Take up all their salary.
Jamar Chase. That's a conversation for another day. But I guess the point I was making is, let's just say, all right, you have to play. It's a best of 3 or it's a best of 2 series. You have 3 games against in the Dodgers Pirates first round. You got Skeens pitching game 1. Very tough to beat Skeens. He can get you 7 or 8 innings. And if Skeens has his best day, and you have Mitch Keller there too, Henley, Falter, whoever goes game 3, like it's possible that the Dodgers, as longer the series goes, when it's a 7-game series, that's when the Dodgers, and maybe to the exception of JJ's point against the Blue Jays, but you look at the Brewers, okay, they swept the Brewers. The Brewers didn't stand a chance in the NLCS last year, but the Phillies put up a good fight. If that game was 7, like, the Phillies need to strike on the opportunities they had, because it's tough to outlast a Dodgers team shown in the World Series.
That's what the Blue Jays did, though. The Blue Jays, all they did was hit and capitalize on opportunities.
They were built to beat the Dodgers.
And I really like your point about the first round. Like, the 3-game set is definitely interesting because if you get a guy like Skeens, he can almost guarantee you, even against the Dodgers rotation, 8 innings of like 1 to 2 runs. And the Pirates added offense. I mean, they're going to make some errors, but I mean, Brandon Lau, Ryan O'Hearn, these guys are hitters. Like, that's what they got up to the MLB to do. And they're going to come in there and they're going to swing the bat. So that gives you opportunity because the Dodgers pitching, I mean, it could always be, taken advantage of. I mean, Yamamoto is really, really good. So, I mean, I may just take back what I just said. Yamamoto versus Skeens might be a 1-0 game. Yeah. But it could be 1-0 for the Pirates. So all it takes is one swing. So I definitely like that point there.
Yeah.
I just think it's like I like bringing up the Pirates because I like bringing up teams that might actually, this could be, everybody's 0-0, so this could be a year we see a step forward. But it feels so funny. Like, even picturing Pittsburgh with LA on the same field in the National League postseason, it's like they don't belong on the same field on paper.
Is this 2013?
Yeah. Like, there's some middle ground between. I was the one who initially was trying to hype up the NL, but there's some ground between that and the AL. And putting the Pirates and the Dodgers. But I understand the hypothetical of why you're doing it.
It's
just like it gives me pause. It's like, oh my gosh, just get the 80 wins, buckos.
Exactly.
Like,
and let's not take away the fact that the Dodgers are not this. Like, they got significantly better this offseason. They added Kyle Tucker, Edwin Diaz, one of the best closers in baseball, if not the best. So it's not the Dodgers as good as the Dodgers have been the last couple years with all the cash: Shohei, Freddie, Mookie Betts, Yamamoto. All those guys. Now you added probably 2 of the biggest free agents of the offseason. So it's even better a Dodgers team than it's been.
We've barely even seen Roki Sasaki.
Seriously.
And I feel like Yamamoto didn't really have the best first year, or maybe not the most notable.
Best first year. He won an MVP. He won a playoff
That wasn't
MVP.
his first year.
No.
That wasn't his first year.
Yeah.
He's been in the league since 2023.
Yeah.
He didn't have the most notable first year.
No, it was, yeah.
I mean, if I look it up, Yamamoto 2023 season, like, I don't think he had the best year, or even the most notable. It might have been like, good for sure. I mean, he's a really good player, so I doubt he had a bad year. Let me look. 2023. Or no, it's 2024. He only had a 1.8 WAR. I mean, 3 ERA. Oh, never mind. That's really good. But like, he only pitched 90. He only pitched 90 innings. That's what I meant to say. Like, that's why it wasn't that normal. He only pitched 90 innings.
Yeah.
So he wasn't on the field as much. I mean, Roki Sasaki wasn't really on the field much at all this past season. He's going to come in healthy, hopefully, and that's almost a whole brand new addition, like, to this team. You think they go like 6 players deep in the rotation too?
Oh yeah.
And
Glasnow is going to be
Ohtani's just one of the best hitters in baseball. Not the best, but maybe number 2. Best hitter in baseball. And then he goes on the mound and gives you 7 innings. I mean, it's the same conversation with the Dodgers every year, except they added 2 more really good players without losing really anything. So it's going to be an interesting season. I'm more excited to see the AL and what develops in the AL because really, who knows at this point? If the Yankees are going to have a repeat of last year. People forget they were tied with the Blue Jays, record-wise, for the first seed. So they were really good. I mean, the Blue Jays were really good last year, and they added pitching and some batters. The Orioles added a lot this offseason. I mean, you get thumbs up. I don't think they're going to be that good. But the Red Sox
I was going to bring the Red Sox to you,
guess.
JJ. The Red
Sox are going to be terrible.
They got, mediocre.
Terrible. Little Ron Harris Suarez?
I can never see him.
I'm not buying into him. But I am buying into Roman Anthony. I think Roman Anthony is going to be really good this year. So that's almost an add in itself, having him play consistently. Losing Alex Bregman was tough. The Mariners are going to be good. The Rangers added some pitching. The AL but is a little bit more wide open, I'll say. But I think the top of the AL is really, really good.
I think the Mariners make a repeat to the ALCS. I think they're...
Do you think Cal Raleigh could have as good of a season again? I think
he's going to have a good season. I think he's still going to have a really good season.
I feel like he could be like a 35 guy, home run guy. I don't know if he's going to get to like 45. I mean, 60 was a lot. Like, that takes some luck, and now we've had a whole year to sort of like analyze his swing. But I think defensively he's still going to be really good. He's going to be really good with the the ABS system, that's another really big thing this season. You know, thinking about catchers that are going to be having that advantage to be able to know when they can use it and keep that advantage for the whole game. It's really important. I think Cal Raleigh is going to be really good. I saw a video of the whole Mariners staff talking about him and how he's going to be so nice this season to have behind the plate. They all really like him in that dugout. So the Mariners pitching is also really good. I mean, they have Gilbert, Wu, Kirby, and then Munoz is their closer. You know, they have a good bullpen too. The Mariners are going to be really good. I think they're probably going to be the 1 seed.
Really, the 1 seed over an AL East winner?
Yeah, I think the AL East is going to cannibalize it.
Who wins the AL East?
That's a really good question, Tim. And sadly, I don't think it's going to be the Yankees.
I'll have some faith.
I don't
You don't
have
think
faith.
so with the Garrett Cole return later?
I think they will.
No,
I think they'll be a stronger team.
I think the Blue Jays are going to be really good again. I just see it in this lineup and in this rotation. I mean, they have one of the best rotations of baseball. Adding Dylan Cease to Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman, Trey Savage, who, oh my God, like he is insane. I don't even know who their 5 guy is, but it's probably better than every other team's 5 guy for the most part. So, and then you got to think about their bullpen. You know, you can always improve your bullpen. I don't know it off the top of my head, but they can always trade for some guys. I think the Blue Jays are going to be really good. You're going to expect a really good season out of Vladimir Guerrero Jr. too. I mean, now without Bo Bichette, he is the star of the team, and he's blossoming into pretty much a superstar in this league. So I think the Blue Jays are going to be good. I think the Yankees will be a close second, but I don't think the Yankees are going to have – I don't think you can expect a Trent Grisham, Jazz Chisholm, you know, breakout season again as good as they were last year, you know, because they were really, really good offensively. Don't know if you're going to expect that again this season. Also expecting some trades to be made, so we'll see what happens.
Dan, is it your Orioles that end up winning the American League East?
I don't see the Orioles winning the AL East because it's that tough a division with the pitching staff being, you know, your typical Oriole. There were starting pitching additions, but I still look at it as your typical Oriole question marks in the starting rotation. Now, having Alonso in the middle of the order and having bounce backs from some batters who are returnees, that's going to be enough for the Orioles to, you know, get Mr. Splash out going, you know, a lot of Camden Yards. I mean, you know about Mr. Splash, right, Tim?
I'm familiar.
Have you ever been in the Splash Zone?
I'm not. I cannot say I have.
Maybe you'd like to. Maybe you'd like to.
Maybe, kid. Maybe.
We'll
have to see.
Special occasions only. Okay, but Trevor Rogers. Okay, so if he's a top of the line guy pitching wise, like, wow, think about what that could do for just morale about that trade going back to when Rogers first arrived in Baltimore. That'd be huge. But you know, I mean, a lot of it's going to be. You understand Westberg's going to be out a little bit. You know, other young batters combining with some older additions like Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward hit a bunch of homers for the Angels last year. I think you're probably due for, like, obviously Ward didn't hit as many home runs as Raleigh, but I'm saying you're probably due for a little bit of a step back from that total the Ward had last year, which was not Raleigh's, but was still up there. Ward, it'll play. I mean, he's a corner outfielder. That power will play. You know, Colton Cowser's a good young option at center field. I'm interested to see how it evolves at catcher, because they have the combination of Rutschman and Basayo now, so that's interesting. Rutschman could use, you know, a rally at the plate himself, and I don't want to say he's not capable of that, but it's just like hopefully this pressure getting taken off him by having Alonso, that'll help for the O's. But it starts with Gunnar Henderson at the top of the line, you know.
It
that
really
combination,
does.
as far as being the leadoff hitter who has that kind of power too, you just look at it as like so much is going to be asked of Gunnar to set the table. Yeah. So I'm keeping Orioles' expectations lower. Like, I think really the target is a wild card, but if stuff gets crazy on everything and in the AL East and the O's find themselves in striking distance, there's talent on paper, but I go back to, okay, what is Bradish going to look like? How do Bassett and Baz look as additions to that rotation next to Bradish? And, like, honestly, it's a lot of arms at this point. Like, Zach Eflin's still there, Dean Kramer's there. Like, who are the arms who are going to emerge as most reliable? And then also, you added, with Bautista on the way back, you added Ryan Helsley, who has been like a pretty high-profile closer for some time. So that's my ramble on the O's. I don't think it all adds up to being like a top division-winning team. But you've got the projected lineup there at FanGraphs, JJ.
I do.
So what do you think of the? Fill me in on what the projection looks like for an opening day. I assume that's opening day type order.
Yeah. It says Ward's leading off, which is, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be Gunnar leading off, then probably Ward, Alonso, Rutschman, Beavers, Cowser, Alexander, because Holiday's out with injury, Basayo, and Kobe Mayo. There's definitely a lot of lefties on this lineup, especially with Jackson Holiday, so that's definitely a concern. I mean, I have that concern with the Yankees, too. We got 6.0 WART projected for Gunnar Henderson. I mean, he's really good. He's going to be an MVP candidate for years to come now, in my opinion. I think he's really got a lot of potential. He's only 24, so he's still got room to grow. And, I mean, a lot of this lineup really is kind of younger. You look at Dylan Beavers, he's 24. Kauser's 25. Blaze Alexander's 26. Feels like we've been hearing about him for a while now in Arizona. But Basayo's only 21. I mean, he's a great bat. And the problem with him, though, is that Rutschman's definitely better behind the plate. Basayo's going to have to be stuck in that DH role, which means Alonso's kind of going to have to be stuck in that first base hole, which I don't really love defensively, but Alonso's going to give you 40 home runs probably, and they have him projected as 3.5 WAR. That could definitely get up higher. You know, he's going to love hitting there. Actually, did they move the wall back, or did they move it in?
It's not as far out as it. I mean, I don't remember. I don't recall if there was I don't think there was a dimension change this offseason.
Not this offseason.
The biggest thing this offseason at Camden Yards is the new video board.
They have a new video board.
Yeah. I mean, I know you've been to Camden Yards.
I have been to Camden Yards,
right?
but a very long time ago.
Okay,
back when it was like impossible to hit there, and if you're righty, and I feel like they do have kind of a far left field. I remember one time Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run there, and I was like, you can hit a ball there? Like, he has so much power. But that's besides the point. Ali Rutschman, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso is definitely going to have an interesting season. You know, adjusting to a new ballpark. I feel like Citi Field's really good for righties. I think he definitely benefited a little bit from being there, but, you know, he's going to get power no matter what. The dude can rake.
And he's on a little bit of a mission, honestly.
He's definitely on a mission because the Mets didn't offer him a contract. You know, he's moving to the AL, so a little bit more difficult division, I guess, for him. You know, he's definitely looking for that playoff success as well. He had that big playoff moment against the Brewers as well. You know, when the Mets haven't really had that great of postseason history with him. I definitely think this team could be solid. This is definitely a playoff team. I mean,
no Tyler O'Neill in that projected.
And that's what I was about to say. Tyler O'Neill, Ryan Mountcastle, and Leo D. Tavares on your bench is not awful.
Nope.
That's not an awful bench at all for a few bench bats. They definitely should rotate some righties into this lineup as a platoon, though, or maybe make a move for a righty outfielder because, you know, having all these lefties in there is going to clunk up your lineup. Like, you're going to face a Max Fried on a consistent basis. You're going to face a Garrett Crochet on a routinely basis. So that's definitely going to be a struggle for them.
Once you get Westberg back in, you know, it'll.
Yeah, I forgot about Westberg. He'll slot in. I mean, he can slot in anywhere, right?
Third base,
second base.
Yeah, second base, third base.
Which is where they both have righties. So, you know, Westberg, you know, he'll slot in somewhere. They'll platoon guys somewhere. Yeah. I'm not sure Jackson Holliday is going to play every day when he comes back too. He's coming back from a weird injury, so who knows how that'll be. So I definitely think this team's going to be interesting. I don't know if they're going to be better than the Red Sox because I do think the Red Sox are really well coached year in and year out. And the Red Sox, you know, they did lose Bregman like we said before, but I mean they always have potential and they're always going to be well coached. So
I guess the big X factor before all this, you know, regular season baseball happens is the WBC, which is coming up. So thoughts on that? I think we're kind of riding this patriotic wave after the Olympics, winning in hockey and then winning in men's hockey. Yeah,
golds.
Yeah, a couple golds. But I'm riding that patriotic wave, thinking that the U.S. is going to win the WBC. But thoughts on that, gentlemen?
I mean, you have good thought process.
Thank you.
USA, I think, is pretty much the resounding favorite at this point. The more I think about it, the more you look at this team and you're impressed by them. I don't know if you saw the news, but Tariq Skubal's pitching one game.
Yes.
And it's in the pool play. That's incredibly disappointing. I understand why he'd do it for his health, but it's disappointing because we anticipated him to be playing for the whole playoffs portion of it, and he's not. Like, I would rather him come in and play in the championship game, make his one game the championship game, or like a playoff game, maybe a quarterfinal, and then save Skeens for the final. You know, like, him facing Great Britain is just not going to be important.
It's not exciting.
We could have our 4 guy go out there and play against Great Britain and shut them out. Like, you know, so I'm kind of disappointed by that. Definitely hurt a little bit. I mean, Skeens definitely could be the ace of this rotation, though. They're 1A, 1B, so I'm not really too worried about that. And I wonder who's going to take his place after, or if they're even going to have a replacement. What are the rules behind that? You know, this modern day era with wanting to play in these cool tournaments versus health and safety, it's definitely an interesting balance. One which a long time ago, you know, you just either would see them play and not even risk the injury, not even care with these all-star games and other sports and these tournaments, the Olympics. But, you know, you think about it in today's age, it's definitely more important. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do after that, what the move is. But this lineup is just insane. There's no way this isn't the best lineup in the field, wise. I do think Japan and Dominican Republic are both really good.
Yeah, I was going to bring them up.
They're both going to be. I'll let Dan talk about them a little bit more.
Too much about it. I just.
But
yeah.
no, you definitely can.
Be some of the harder teams to beat in this tournament.
I mean, I think I just named the top 3.
Like the DR lineup side by side with the United States lineup.
We could go.
Dominican. It's pretty interesting.
I mean, if we look at it, it's pretty much both all-star lineups.
Yes. The Dodgers essentially.
The Dodgers.
I think if you put these teams up against the Dodgers, they could probably beat them.
That's good. It's like if you put an entire country up against the Dodgers, maybe it'll be competitive.
They would win.
Maybe. Just maybe. Okay, I have the DR as Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Teoscar Hernandez. Okay, this is wrong. Sorry.
That AI overview on Bing's
the
part is
AI. Do never trust
Yeah.
AI without looking at
Here we go.
it beforehand.
Okay,
The
yeah.
public
Okay.
service
How are they
announcement of the day.
aggregating? How are
Yes,
they going about
they
it?
do.
Here's
They do.
MLB.com. So if it's wrong, then it's on them. They have Junior Caminero, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Ketel Marte, Yermi Pena, Geraldo Perdomo, Agustin Ramirez, Ahmed Rosario, Carlos Santana, Austin Wells. And then O'Neal Cruz, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr. That's going to be their rotation of players. I mean, the pitching isn't all that great, though. I mean, Albert Abreu, Sandy Alcantara, Brian Bello, Camilo Doval, Anthony Dominguez. Oh, they got some nice relievers. Christopher Sanchez,
Can't
Gregory
overlook
Soto,
Sanchez. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Luis Severino, Dennis Santana, Edwin Ucita, Abner. Their pitching's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think that this definitely is. It could stack up with the USA in a one game. Who knows who wins this game? It's going to be a dogfight. And I mean,
Sanchez
the Japan lineup. I mean,
Yeah.
Dan, I don't know if you know anyone of the Japanese players from overseas. I don't
know
exactly
the whole lineup off the top of
know.
my head. I want to verify.
I don't
trust but verify.
We have Shohei. We have
Obviously, you have Shohei.
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto's definitely gonna be playing, right?
Is
Seiya Suzuki.
Yeah, Suzuki's
Seiya
playing.
Suzuki. Yusei Kikuchi's on the team. Yuki Matsui, Yoshiniba Yamamoto. Kazama Okamoto, who just signed with the Blue Jays. Munatika Murakami, who also just signed with the White Sox. Both of those are really nice bats. And I mean, these international players I'm not too familiar with. Most of them I don't really follow the MPB or Japanese baseball. But I believe that is Japanese baseball. I believe it's the MPB. But I mean, I'm not too familiar, but they're going to be good. There's no denying they're not going to be good. So their league is pretty much the B to the MLB. So all these guys are going to be really good no matter what. There's really no denying that. So I think the USA's team beat, though.
What about, might I add Venezuela into this conversation?
Yeah.
What do we think about them, the Venezuelans? They got Ranger pitching.
I think they have a pretty good roster. I just don't think they're going to go farther with the DR, USA, and Japan coming in to this tournament. I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're going to make some strides, but I don't think that they're going to be one of the teams to beat. I think they're going to be a roadblock to some teams, yes, but I think they're going to be a stepping stone for other teams.
Okay.
I like Venezuela a lot. Don't
get me wrong.
They normally play really hard in this tournament. They're normally very good. I don't think that Jose Altuve is playing this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see him on this roster.
Let me see. I'm looking at it with you.
I don't see.
Got Contreras behind, Arias.
Is he playing?
Contreras.
I don't think he
Dude,
is,
I don't think he is playing, right? Without him, you're losing a big leader. I believe Acuna's playing, though. So
Acuna is playing.
Acuna's going to be the new leader of that group.
Wilyer Abreu.
Roster.
Churio.
Miguel Rojas, they said no to, right, too? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no Rojas. Michael Garcia.
Tovar. I like Michael Garcia.
I don't know. I think this team. I think the final four, and it obviously depends how the bracket works its way up. I think it'll be Venezuela, Japan, United States, and La República Dominicana.
Okay,
that's what I think.
That's valid. I think that Puerto Rico kind of got snubbed a little bit. No Lindor, no Correa this year. I think no Bias too, right? They lost pretty much their whole infield from the last tournament, and that tournament's one of the best. Normally the best infield in the tournament almost every year, so that's really disappointing for them. Gleyber Torres is on the team. Eugenio Suarez, Michael Garcia. Yeah, Venezuela is really good. Luis Arias, Salvador. No, this team's definitely very good. I mean, they're filled with MLB guys.
Is Nolan Arenado Puerto Rican?
His mom is, I think. That's why he's playing on Puerto Rico.
Interesting.
It's sad because he was just playing on Team USA.
You shouldn't be able to do
and I thought that was really interesting. I think Joel Embiid tried doing a similar thing. I think he's trying to play.
That's fine. He's fine.
For his hometown as well. Or home country, sorry.
Cameroon.
Instead of, but he did play for the USA previously in the Olympics. So, I could go without him.
I feel like once you make your like decision, you have to stay. Like, you know what I mean? You should not be able to pick one team and then flip flop around every. You know what I mean? You pick a country, you stay with it.
Yeah. You show some dedication.
Yes.
No, I don't know. I mean, different background. You could be of different backgrounds. You know. Take 1 year to represent one side of the family, the other year, like we all have different sides of the family and different.
No, I understand. I just think
always interesting.
I think it's interesting, you know. Willie Castro's playing on Puerto Rico. That's another MLB show classic there. MJ Melendez, he hasn't been that great though. Eddie Rosario, World Series champion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this team is not as good as it normally is. Let's be honest. It's definitely not. It definitely doesn't have the juice that they normally have. Very funny that Edwin Diaz is playing again this year after last time getting injured and being out for the whole season.
It's funny.
Very
funny.
They insured his contract. The Dodgers, man. They'll pay him no matter what. So they invest in their players, man. You can't deny that. But I definitely think the USA is the team to beat. If they don't win the tournament, I'm going to be very sad. I think that's the one way to put it. I do wish Mike Trout was on the team. You know, seeing him win a championship of any kind is something that I really want to see in my lifetime.
And it's not coming with the Angels. So.
No. And you know what?
Where's he from?
He's from New Jersey. He's from New Jersey, Mike Trout.
Yeah, his dad went to right here at the University of Delaware.
Yes.
His dad went to the University of Delaware?
Yep.
But you have to think Mike Trout from South Jersey, whereas, grew up being a Phillies fan. Oh, Phillies need an outfielder. Oh, trade deadline.
Tim, I loved it as nostalgically. I like it nostalgically. Trout is not. He's not the same guy. He's not the same guy anymore.
I don't think the Angels can trade him, dude.
Kind of not with the massive contract he signed. Maybe I'm wishfully thinking, but he would be better over whatever outfield combination we're going to be putting in center field.
Let's see Adolis Garcia. Oh. Or how does he pronounce it? I'm sorry. Does he pronounce it Adolis? Adolis?
I don't know.
Let's see him hit.
I don't know for sure.
If you can hit over 250, then I'll learn how to pronounce.
Then you'll learn how to. Yeah.
I mean,
he might take like I mentioned Suarez earlier. He might take a Ron Hare Suarez tact and just never correct us. It's like, dude, I would have loved to know that was the correct way to say it when you were in.
It's Ron Hare Suarez.
Yes,
I never knew that.
Yes, because you understand with the G sound right in the middle of it. Spelled Ranger the way we would just read by default, I guess. But like. You understand, it's Ron Hare, the pronunciation.
Ron Hare.
Yes.
Garcia's a core part of that 2023 World Series championship team, man. If he's a great hitter. He won the American League Championship Series MVP that year. I mean, he's a great hitter. If he has that type of season again, I mean, he could be a great pickup for the Phillies. Definitely better than Castellanos.
I agree with that. So Ron Hare Suarez decided to change his name or change.
No, it's not change
his name, but like explain how you pronounce his name when he decided to go to Boston out of all cities. That's what he decided to go.
I think it just came up as a matter of topic in the introductory press conference. I'm not sure it was like a predetermined notion on his part but I'm respecting it. Like when I learned that, again, because it's a broadcasting thing, like it just as we broadcast games. And it's like,
no, you're right.
It's like, oh my gosh, like, why didn't you say so?
Yeah.
Like, come on, don't be shy. It's great. So anyway,
I can't believe that Will Smith is going to be a backup on the Team USA team, and he's one of the best catchers in baseball. I'm looking at the roster right now, and it's just no way they lose, right? I mean, Aaron Judge winning a ring too. I mean, this would definitely be a consolation prize and make me happy. But is there any other big moves like you think you could highlight going into the season that we want to keep an eye out for baseball that we haven't talked about like at all?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think there's anything?
What are we overlooking? We're overlooking at least.
What move are we overlooking? I just got moved to a big team. Or like a small trade. I mean, I don't know. Castellanos. Someone else might have just gotten signed, too.
Is Castellanos a needle mover, though? I would not say.
No, definitely not a needle mover, but a notable name for sure. I mean, he was an all-star.
Just because he didn't get traded because everybody knew they were going to let him go eventually doesn't mean that.
Oh, no.
He doesn't. He didn't have some demand.
He kind of reminds me of JD Martinez in my head, just by like career path, power, swinging, outfielders, DH probabilities. Like And when I think about the two, I think about their trade deadline appearances. I mean, Castellanos got traded to the Cubs that one season, and he went off after that. And I think of the J.D. Martinez Diamondbacks run, and I think of, like, that was electric. He brought them all the way to the postseason that year, and he was great. J.D. Martinez had 45 home runs with the Red Sox, too. I mean, he was a really good player. One of the better power swinging bats, DHs of our time, which is really interesting. But, I mean, I feel like the Major League Baseball is going in a different direction with the Dodgers. So, like, moves are going to happen hopefully faster in the offseason. And, like, you know, there's still some guys available, like, to sign. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Like, some guys take till right before the season starts to decide they want a new team, and some guys decide incredibly early. I think that the CBA agreement, after they come to a new one, they're definitely going to overhaul free agency. I think the goal is to encourage spending rather than discourage spending, which I think is going to favor teams like the Dodgers. I think that's kind of the mindset they should go in. And I think it's going to be really important for free agency in general, and it's going to impact a lot of the stuff we're going on right now in spring training.
End game is, rather than trade, it's about these young players for me. You said it, Connor Griffin. I want to see Connor Griffin on the opening day Pirates lineup. Andrew Painter,
Yes.
on the Phillies Major League roster on opening day. I would think, as Wheeler still would need the time to get back, right? Like,
What about Sanchez with the? Oh, you mean right? Yeah, no, I agree.
no, I don't mean
Opening
Painter
day,
starting
I
on
agree,
opening day. I just mean like he's on the
agree.
Major League
Yep,
level
yep.
opening day.
Yep.
And it would be expected that Painter would be a starting pitcher, like in the rotation to start the year, like just. And that's not to mention Justin Crawford for the Phillies, because that's going to be a major part of the outfield.
Yeah, I don't know if
Phillies,
Miller. They stuck with Bohm. I don't know. Maybe Miller spends another year.
Yeah, I understand people
know.
bring up Crawford and Miller as like a package at the same time. Not everybody comes up, in duos. Yes. Unfortunately, it's tough. Not everybody comes up on the Will McCarthy and Tim Shooksta duos route in the radio.
Yes.
You know who Aaron Judge's? You know what Aaron Judge's duo was when he came up? Tyler Austin.
And now imagine that.
Tyler Austin's a Cub.
Imagine
he's
that.
He's still kicking it.
He's still.
And
I lost
speaking
track
of
of him.
Speaking
I lost
of
track of him, I gotta say.
Speaking of the Cubs, to answer JJ's question, I think the underrated move that we didn't really talk about, Alex Bregman signing with the Chicago Cubs, does that bolster the Cubs to be maybe the number 2 team in the National League behind the Dodgers?
Yeah,
they could give them a run.
On paper, if the number 2 team is in the Mets, then they just disappointed all of us. I think that Mets definitely have a better lineup. You know, they also have those defensive holes that I'm just like, we got Jorge Polanco playing first base and Bo Bichette playing third base. I just saw Bo Bichette make a barehanded play in spring training, but who knows if he's going to do that in an actual game when it matters, or in the NLCS against the Dodgers when you really can't screw up the easy ones. You know, there's going to be a lot of question marks. Brett Beatty might be playing the outfield. Brett Beatty, I don't even know if he was that good of a third baseman. I feel like I've seen clips of him dropping easy pop-ups before. But, I mean, the Mets on paper are definitely better, I think, than the Cubs. I like the Cubs in the NL Central, though. Alex Bregman's a really good bat. They made a move for Edward Cabrera. You know, if they keep Nico Horner, which they should, then they're going to be really good offensively still in that infield. I think they have a lot of potential there. If Dansby Swanson lives up to a good season, they'll be good there as well. I like the Cubs. I think they'll be the NL Central team, probably the 3 seed, because I believe the top 3 seeds do go to the division winners still, so I think we'll see the Cubs there this season. I think we'll see them as like a 3 seed behind the Dodgers and the Mets.
We didn't bring up for the Mets Marcus Semien going on the Mets, like a veteran. He's
pointless.
It's not like he can't play. I mean, he's going to be asked to play every day, isn't he?
That trade was pointless.
You think it was pointless?
That's pointless.
Who did the Mets give up for Semien? Remind me.
Brandon Nimmo, who would have been starting on this team.
Would have been starting in the outfield.
And then they could have just put Beatty to second.
Now, was
or
Nimmo
Bichette to second and put Beatty at third.
The Mets had some locker room like discord. Is that like?
Is that what it was?
Is that the narrative? Is that just a narrative, or is that?
I remember that a little bit.
I vaguely am. I don't want to speak on something that I'm not.
I have no idea.
You just think it was hype? I think
know.
there may have been legs to that. I don't remember who was part of it. I'd have to ask Coach Carty. You know, he follows the Mets more closely, obviously.
We saw him on our walk in.
We did. Tim, you and I saw him. Yeah, he was
pointed
heading
him out to you, and then
Oh yeah. No, that was hilarious.
You know.
If he gets a second, if he gets some time, we gotta get his thoughts on the Mets, because there was some kind of drama involved. Like wasn't there some kind of like behind the scenes? It wasn't like the locker room had some discord.
Yep.
But I need to refresh myself because I don't know the ins and outs.
There's always some drama going on.
I have no idea. I just think that they shouldn't have traded Brandon Nimmo. I think Brandon Nimmo have started, and then you would have had a better defensive infield. I fully trust Bichette to play second base. I don't know about third base, and I think Marcus Simeon's old, aging, not very good. Maybe he has a better contract years-wise. He might not have as many years left on his deal. I think that's why the Mets did it. They want to have a little bit of flexibility because obviously Tariq Skubal's going to be a free agent this offseason, and they're going to throw a bag at him. So you got to get ready now.
The Dodgers will sign.
There's no way.
The Dodgers sign.
There's no way.
There's no way, but you could see that story.
I'll put $5 on it.
I bet with my brother Shohei Ohtani. He thought he was going to go to the Braves. I thought the Dodgers. So maybe I'll have to follow you up on that offer, kid. Maybe. Give me a day to think about it.
Okay.
I'm very.
Dude,
$5 is a lot of money.
There's no way they have the money.
No, I
for
don't
that.
think they do. I don't think they do. That would be.
If they did, man, they're probably going to make a big trade before they do that.
What kind of contract is Skubal going to get?
Probably the biggest the pitcher's ever got.
You think so?
I don't even know
Are
what
we counting
it is.
Ohtani's contract in that? I don't think that counts in that category.
I mean, like, just pitcher.
Yeah.
He has to be.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, and if we're ready to move on, I got some NFL news for you guys.
Okay.
If we're ready to move on.
Yeah.
So, I'm looking at this right now. I got this yesterday. The Rams logo has been leaked for their uniform redesign. As I've pestered Tim and Dan so much, I follow a bunch of reports relating to uniforms because I like uniforms. I think they look good. A good team has a good uniform. And we have, I think, 4 teams redesigning uniforms, 1 team just updating it. And 2 of the ones I've been following more closely have been the Rams and the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons actually had their alternates leaked. It is a red jersey, kind of similar, like, combination between their throwbacks and the current era. And I don't really like it. It's kind of bland for my taste. And I think a lot of teams are going to go with the minimalist approach to redesigning their new uniforms, and that's going to go in with what I just saw about the Rams. The Rams are going full monochrome with their logo. It is going to be a straight yellow, no more gradient. So it's just going to be the LA,
Really?
their current logo, but just yellow.
This is like their new uniforms?
That is their new primary logo, and they're ditching their secondary goat head logo for a throwback logo. So we can expect them to have alternate throwbacks this year.
Oh yeah.
Where did you see this?
Per Zach Cohen, FB. He's the one.
Uniform sources are unmatched, JJ.
He's the one who I get
sources.
Well, you're the uniform
a lot
guy.
of my uniform
I had
stuff
no
from.
idea this happened. But I just saw like a picture of, if this is real, this looks really cool.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of teams fall into 2 different camps where what's old is new again or minimalist approach. Tennessee Titans had their new logo leaked, which reminiscent of a lot of Oilers colors with the powder blue, the red, and the white. And we're seeing a lot of teams just kind of going between the two. And
I mean,
I wonder what the thought is with all you guys, because I know the Ravens are getting new ones, and Jared and Jason aren't too happy with that the Ravens are getting a redesigned uniform.
I think that the Ravens have really cool uniforms, but I wouldn't mind the Rams going back to their older colors. I don't really like the new Rams uniforms personally. I think they just look like someone went into Photoshop and was like, let's appeal this to like, a younger audience that likes looking at colors. Like, it doesn't look like an NFL uniform, like the old blue and white, like Todd Gurley, 2018, Super Bowl.
So they're keeping the same color scheme. I think they're just connecting the horns and making it look more like
a ram horn.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's really cool too.
Like the rivalry.
I mean, I would love for them to go like have a throwback uniform though, like with that old blue and white. You know what I'm talking about? And like with where Jared Goff was around, like maybe not the murky blue and the yellow, but like the nice blue and the white. There was.
Are you saying navy blue and white?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the horn that could be really cool. Like the Texans, kind of like the Texans have like they have those kind of new alternate.
Yeah. And what's interesting
well,
about some of these teams is one of the teams who are redesigning their uniforms, the Titans. They're also getting rivalry uniforms, and within the logo leak for them, I think the rivalry uniform logo also got leaked, and that is a navy, gold, and silver. So, like, full Nashville.
For the Titans.
For the Titans.
Navy, gold, and silver.
Yes, because of Nashville.
Oh, Nashville used to.
What? Why? Oh, because what? The Nashville Predators type aura? To
No,
it?
that's like the Nashville colors.
What, in the flag of the city or something?
Yeah, that's like the blue, gold, and silver.
This is like Major League Baseball City Connect to me. It's like
that is what the rivalries are.
Yeah, I'm not against like alternate uniforms. I'm just thinking uniform analysis. I love Press has this on the NFL uniform analysis covered, but for me, my college football bias, the uniforms to me like have so much more of a direct impact. I mean, not literally.
Were you
direct,
not a fan of like
but
the Tulane like brick uniform?
No, what I'm saying is, like, in college, like, the uniforms, we're thinking about recruiting, you're thinking about, now, recruiting continues to evolve in college, but still, like, the traditions of college football are, in some places, so sacred that uniforms are more controversial in college than in the NFL, but I do think it's worth analyzing and discussing in the NFL. I just kind of compare NFL changes to what we see in college and just think, like, in the NFL, it's like Nike just seeing how many jerseys they can sell of us, and it's like, dang, like, now, but you're not wrong, Press, in the sense that, like, teams can swing and a miss, and that's like a big story. Like if an NFL team walks out there with a bad looking uniform,
the
like
Cardinals,
that says a lot. Like that says like you just look kind of unserious.
What about the Bumblebee Steelers?
Oh my gosh! Don't get me started. Don't get the Bumblebee Steelers.
The ones they dropped this year were also terrible. The matte shell.
They never have good uniforms. Tape. They just need to stick to what's pride and true for them.
Yeah. That's an example of what Dan says, is where like the tradition of the Steelers jersey. You got like the black, you had the white. Like you don't need to move on from that. Like that has the story history. The Cowboys.
I think they need to go back to block letters though for the Steelers. The little italicized numbers look kind of weird. But
I got used to them though. I got used to those though for Pittsburgh.
I think Tim will like this report. With the Washington Commanders, they are going back to those uniforms. They're going back to like how they used to look during their Super Bowl eras. They're returning to a glossy helmet. No more of that like Matt Garnett.
I hated
and they're
their
bringing
rebrands.
back a Fear the Spear throwback.
Really?
As so I've heard.
Huh.
They're going with that like Deion when he was on the what was the Redskins with the spear throwbacks.
Okay. No, I think they definitely needed new uniforms. They looked very bland and boring. Kind of like what I said about the Rams before. Like all these teams were just going for such a modernized, bland sort of approach. I think about rebrands I don't like. I mean, I like the new uniforms for the Orlando Magic, but their new logo looks awful. Like it lost all of its spirit. All the NBA logos have a circle now, and like I think about that for the NFL. Like I don't want the NFL to go down that route.
The NFL is going down like two
they're going down
really weird paths right now. Because they're going back like reverse retro, where they're modernizing retro designs, and some look good, like the Jets. I really love the Jets' new uniforms. I know Jared will disagree with me on this. He wants them to go back to the white shell, but I love these new Jets uniforms. And we're seeing like a lot of teams split between what they want to go through. The Cardinals went very minimalist. The Bengals, I say, went a bit retro, bringing back some of the striping. They found what made their team stand out, and they used it. They modernized it so it's not like everywhere, but it's still
the Bengals
design focused.
The Bengals going with the icy whites. That stands out.
The whites are so cool.
Wasn't that's the night I remember watching Flacco for the Bengals won on Thursday Night Football? Were they wearing the icy whites then last season? Do you remember, Press?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was one of the better alternate uniforms. I think the Packers did the white uniform really nice too.
No, the Packers was terrible.
The white uniform?
Oh. Yes, the Packers one was terrible. I have major gripes with it because it's just their away uniform. And the problem with just using
have you looked at the helmet? It's white. Have the Packers?
But here's the problem.
The Packers never use different helmets.
There's an inconsistency with their helmets because I would prefer a yellow stripe in the middle so it matches with the jersey.
I don't mind the stripe,
no yellow in it. It just looks like the helmet was just placed on there with no thought, which is pretty much kind of what happened.
I don't look at it that deeply. I think it looks cool. I like the white helmet.
I look into it deeply because I love it.
I know it's a cool thing to like.
That's my problem with
I don't blame
the
you.
Vikings icy whites too. You can't see their helmet horns because they're white. They blend into the white shell. If they made the helmet horns purple, now that would have been a major improvement with them.
Nah, I still like the Vikings white uniforms.
They're cool uniforms, but sometimes the designs, they look good in a photo shoot, but they don't look good on the field. And I feel like that's some of the problem with uniforms. They're made to look good on like shelves. They're made to look good.
I feel like they look good in these games of the pictures.
However, on the field, they just don't look that appealing because you can't see all the details they put into it.
Are you sure you just weren't watching J.J. McCarthy?
Oh, wow. Wait, Press, while we're on the subject, to get you off the NFL, What's your favorite Delaware football uniform? Now that we have a bunch of combinations, I have to ask this while I'm here. You know, you brought me in. I gotta ask this now.
There's only one right answer.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, maybe we could guess.
Man.
What's the best one? Home or away? Primary or alternate?
I really love the home blue with yellow pants, blue socks.
Just classic.
It is
cinema.
classic. But
Tim's not even that excited about it. Look, he's not even that excited about it.
I love the Midnight Collection.
Okay, well that's
my favorite.
My thing with that is, I wish, because it's silver on white, I wish the white was yellow.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people
I
would like
disagree.
To see
I
but if you have yellow and
completely
black,
disagree.
If you have yellow and black, then it looks too much like Steelers or something, right?
I think it looks awesome with the white. I think it really makes it pop. I think
agree,
the yellow would be kind of boring. Like
my thing with that is I don't like silver on white. I think it mutes it. If it was silver yellow, I think that would have looked amazing. Now if you ask me what's my favorite helmet that Delaware has, I'd say the Midnight Collection. I love the black helmet with the wing.
Yeah. I definitely think
I love that helmet.
The black uniforms are definitely better than like they were before though. Like this with the blue and yellow helmet and the blue and the yellow, it's doing too much. Like the Midnight Collection is sleek. It's dark. It's
I think there might be a
Nike.
reason why Pressman does not like the midnight uniform.
But I don't think he dislikes the midnight.
No,
I don't dislike
okay,
them. I
but
love
maybe
them.
they're not his favorite because of this. So a little story time, right? We're going before the Middle Tennessee State game when they gave the free giveaway. So we got in, doing media, and then took our media passes off and got first in line. But whenever the gates open, what is it? Probably a 7:00 start.
I think it was 7:30 for
maybe.
okay,
Night,
yeah.
Whatever. Maybe the
7:30.
gates opened at like 6:30. Whenever they did, we were getting ready, and it was myself, McCarthy, the Wassermans, and Pressman. So 5 of us, right? The gates open. It's like the 1800s when they did like the bowls, like the gates open, bang! Everybody starts running. Everybody starts running
Pressman,
in.
did you take a fall?
I got thrown to the ground.
Pressman got thrown to the ground when me, McCarthy, and the Wasserman started to the front. We're the first 4 in line. We're looking around. We're like, all right, we got ours.
Someone
Where is
grabbed me
Pressman
and
at?
threw me to the ground.
It got physical en route to picking up the jersey, and
Dude.
that's why Pressman does not like the midnight.
Did you at least get
black.
one?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
Wait, but I mean, just to go back to Dan's point from before, like these uniforms mean something to the fans, man. They want to show up to college uniforms.
I bled
to
for
get
those
new
uniforms.
Exactly. Like in the NFL, it's like, yeah, it's really cool, but it's more of like it's a different kind of marketing ploy when it's for like an organization for profits than it is for like college, where like college students are just like there to have fun and like
They wanna
enjoy
see
football.
cool colors.
I feel like they
Rep
want
their school, hopefully.
I mean, in reality,
Hopefully.
it's the same thing. In
We're
reality,
the
it's the same
school's
thing.
rival.
But inherently, it's different because it is hard to get kids to go to a college football game when you're not that good or not that big of a program. If you're not that good of an NFL team, people will still show up and still buy the jerseys and it's a different kind of marketing. So I do see the difference that Dan was trying to say before.
Or the geographical layout of your campus, if your football stadium is.
If your football stadium's on South Campus.
Dude, when I
by the farm, for
visited JMU, the football stadium's right next to the classrooms. It's actually in the
That's how I feel like
perfect
most
spot,
of
man.
them. Most of
And
them are.
it's so
Most of
easy,
them are like
accessible.
center campus.
Like, why wouldn't you go if you're
or like
there?
JJ, think about how accessible Christy Mathewson Stadium is. Like you know how to lay out.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? Like
Yeah. No, it makes
Lewisburg,
sense.
Lewisburg,
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not messing with you.
The
I'm just saying,
greater
like I've been there too.
No, I
And
know.
the thing with the rivalry jerseys, it feels corporate. They're not really tying that much into the city, but I don't know. I'm excited for the new slate of teams because the NFC North and the AFC South. So, like, 2 very different ideologies.
What?
The NFC North, steeped in tradition.
In other words,
these teams don't like to change. The AFC South, they love change. They love all these bright,
That's
vibrant
because
colors.
the AFC South is almost irrelevant.
Yes.
True.
Yeah.
The NFC North, meanwhile, we got JJ's team. NFC North is like
I wonder
some real
I
buttoned
wonder
up
what
football.
the Packers jersey is going to be. Because
The Packers are
what do
going to
they
be
even do?
really interesting.
What do they even do, man? Like, a black uniform?
Wow.
I don't know if I'm
buy
there.
it.
I don't know if I'm
I'll
there.
buy it.
Well, here's the thing: if the Packers wanted to try a black uniform, Pressman's gonna be looking for some of that yellow, right? Like with Delaware, a little bit as a touch.
I don't-
Wait,
right?
what if
Because if it's
black
black
with
and
the yellow
green,
and a
then
little
that's
bit of
Jets.
green?
I don't know. When I
Yeah,
think of Packers,
what if
I
it
don't
go
think
lighter?
of
I don't
Go
think of
lighter
black.
green.
I think I'd be
Then what do
disappointed
they do,
if the
man?
Packers ever did
Here,
a black
look up,
uniform.
JJ, do me a favor. Look up William and Mary gray football uniforms. Let me know what you think if the Packers did something like that.
I think I'd be very disappointed if the Packers did a black uniform. I don't. I don't see those colors working too well with.
So would you see gray
scheme.
working better? Wait, why does Google suck?
No, your big images are going
Oh,
like
it's big images.
selling so badly.
It's big
I think
images.
I will say I did like their
I wish I could do it on my
throwbacks though
phone.
with the navy and
I can imagine it.
the
though.
leather helmet.
I don't know.
I think those were
So
probably.
what do you think? Navy?
No, I said I did like the Packers throwback uniforms with the.
Oh,
with
they're
the
so
leather
ugly, man.
helmets.
They're so ugly. I don't know.
I
don't
just
know why you
admire
like
how
them.
much time went into painting those helmets.
I mean,
'Cause they looked
the
really
helmet looks
cool.
cool, but like I hate when they do those navy jerseys, like the old like 1920s. It's like it's kind of like imagining the Yankees doing a throwback jersey. Like
Well,
what?
the Yankees haven't really changed anything.
But I'm saying like the lettering looks a lot worse back then versus what it does now. In my opinion, I think it definitely looks better now, and like the hat looks a little bit cleaner. Like if we were to go back to that day and age, like I wouldn't want to wear that jersey. You know what I mean?
But we know the Yankees are never gonna do a throwback. They're never
Dude,
gonna change their
If the
uniform
day the
closet.
Yankees get an alternate jersey is the day I buy.
I think
it right
that's
away.
the day the Yankees like clear $1 billion in profit for jersey sales.
Dude, they should do a throwback jersey or not throwback, like an alternate, like a gray, not even gray, maybe like a black uniform. Okay, I don't think those are the William Mary gray jerseys do not look good. So maybe the Packers shouldn't do that.
No, that's
Funny enough, and this has nothing to do with our conversation, but I was bored today. I had a lot of work to do, so equivalently I was procrastinating. I met Joe Biden last night.
You met Joe Biden last night?
Joe Biden.
Oh,
last
Joe
night.
Biden.
I've tied my people that I've met and then people that they have met in response. I've tied them to the actual William and Mary. Dan, did you hear that?
No, I was showing Preston the William and Mary fan. I'm sorry.
With my new best friend Joe Biden that I met last night,
Yes.
as you know.
Yes, Joe.
I've tied my, like when you do like the TikToks where it's like I met so and so and they met so and so. I've tied that back to the actual William and Mary.
The original William and Mary.
William of
who
Orange and Mary. Yes. Yes.
Is that right?
The Glorious Revolution.
But how many steps does that go? How did you make that? How did you connect those dots?
We'll do it real quick. Then we'll go to the question.
Yes.
Okay. I went to Joe Biden to Queen Elizabeth to Winston Churchill, Churchill to FDR to Teddy Roosevelt. Again, I had a lot of work to do. I'm very behind on work. So I just don't do this.
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt to Booker T. Washington to Frederick Douglass,
Okay.
Douglas to Lincoln to Prince Napoleon, Prince Napoleon to Louis Bonaparte, and then that's to that real Napoleon to Pope Pius VII, to Pope Pius VI, to Joseph II, to Catherine the Great of Russia, to Empress Elizabeth of Russia, to Peter I, then to William of Orange, and Mary, William and Mary.
The
Wow.
William and Mary.
Look at that.
Wow.
So Tim,
It's
by
like playing
extension,
7 Degrees to Kevin Bacon, but it just
Yes.
keeps going further
Correct.
back in time.
Correct.
Wow.
So just dawn on that for a second as we Pressman, what's our question for the day as we hit our half an hour left in the show mark.
So, as you may have heard the last episode, it got into a pretty heated debate of who were the best coaches in college football. And I kind of wanted to reignite that discussion because it went over so well last time. But I wanted to focus it to the Big Ten and to the future of college football as we know it.
Oh, the Big Ten. It's almost like Dan knew what we would
It's
be
almost
talking
like Dan
about
knew.
today.
He's wearing a Big Ten shirt right now. So the discussion question today is, in 10 years, who will have the better legacy in the Big Ten, assuming they stay where they are? Ryan Day, Kurt Signetti, or Dan Lanning?
3 options.
Ryan
I'll start
Day, Kurt Signetti, or Dan Lanning.
Go ahead, Tim.
And how many years?
In 10 years.
Okay.
Decade. It's gonna be surprising
years, Big
considering
Ten.
my takes last time. It'll be Kurt Signetti, and I don't care if Dan Lanning wins every national championship from here on out. The stuff that Kurt Signetti's done already with Indiana, the greatest comeback in college football history, taking Indiana, who everybody most losingest program, losingest
Worst
not
program
most
in
losingest.
history.
Yeah, the losingest program in
Who's
history.
it now, Purdue or Northwestern?
I do not know. But it's not Indiana anymore. And that's because of Kurt Signetti. So that's my selection here.
I mean, I think that inherently Ryan Day has a nerf on his back of his repertoire against Michigan. That's such a big part of his legacy at the Ohio State University.
Yes.
And
Now,
that's
let's
a
say,
big problem.
Unfortunately, I'm going to put this unfortunately because I like Michigan. Let's say Ryan Day maybe drops one more game to Michigan in these
Still.
next few years
Still.
because Michigan has a rough few years ahead.
No, I
of
know.
them.
But I'm just saying.
Don't underestimate Whittingham. Don't underestimate.
He's lost
underestimate
too many.
Whittingham.
He's lost too many
You could
games to
underestimate
Michigan
him.
already to for
Yeah.
the standard of where that rivalry is at. Like, if you're a coach or a fan in that rivalry, you expect to win every single year. And he's lost some games that he really shouldn't have. So who knows
Dominic
if
Savada,
Ohio,
my national hero.
who even, knows that they beat Michigan every year, even if Michigan's not that good. So, that's definitely something I would consider with Ryan Day. And I think that definitely hurts him. I think that Cignetti just has a little bit of an edge on the portal. Dan Lanning's great at high school recruiting, and he does get good transfer portal commits. But Oregon just never really translates it well, I feel like, to the college football playoff. And even though, they did make it to the semifinals this year, but their path was Texas Tech, who is, I feel like, still a year or two away of NIL funding and high school development, transfer portal getting the right class. And, who would they be in the first round again? JMU?
Oh,
JMU.
Oregon?
They beat
Yeah.
JMU, who arguably shouldn't even have been there. It really should have been Notre Dame and Miami. But Miami didn't get to be in the conference championship game because the ACC is really dumb. So that really is what we come down to.
Well,
with
the
this.
ACC just cannibalized itself towards the end with.
And then I just thought
Louisville
about
and Duke.
Oregon really should have played Tulane because Miami would have been headed to Tulane. So anyway, the point is that they didn't have a great, path there. And I mean, we see that with Penn State. Penn State had a really easy path in the college football playoff. They get to the semifinals, they lose, they don't have a great season next year. That could happen. But winning in this era of college football, winning a championship, Kirsten Denny's done that already. He knows the process. He clearly has mastered the portal. I mean, high school recruiting, essentially. I mean, does it really even matter in 10 years? Who knows? The portal's definitely going to be more important. I think that's going to be Cignetti, building off of what I said last time. And I think that's really funny that I've been on back-to-back shows then, because that did happen last time.
Pressman departs for.
Oh, Pressman. Oh, Pressman's part of the setup, right?
I
Here
don't
at
know.
the
I'm not
station.
sure what they're. Oh, he's back.
Oh, I didn't
Also
want to
on?
jump in line before him.
No.
Go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I was
There
just
you
gonna. I'm just thinking. Yeah, well said about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry. Lanning, I love the personality, the clips, the edits of Lanning in the locker room. That is
What are we
college
fighting
football.
for? What are we fighting for?
Yeah. How Colorado is fighting for clicks.
He would get me through a wall.
Yeah, Lanning is hard not to be excited about him. I do think it's tricky. The way Lanning will be judged is influenced a little bit by the Nike influence at Oregon, the support, the Phil Knight support at Oregon. Ohio State inherently has a ton of support. Now Indiana, Cignetti sort of created that though in Indiana with getting Mark Cuban alive and engaged, right? So I'm thinking, now maybe I'm being a prisoner of the moment. I mean, after a decade, I think it'll still be Cignetti because Cignetti's the one who just basically wrapped up a Hall of Fame candidacy, it was pretty sudden that he was able to do that in a brief time in Indiana. Now I knew Cignetti was good when he coached JMU and coached Elon.
And IUP.
Yes, in your Commonwealth.
Yeah, my neck of the woods, yeah.
I just bring it up because Cignetti was coaching against Delaware, and I knew Cignetti was a handful, but it's no. It's Cignetti because he's catapulted himself into Hall of Fame status in such a quick time in Indiana. Then that's probably that's gonna, like Tim said, it's probably gonna last. Not necessarily outshine along the way, each year. Sure, if Day gets it done or if Lanning gets to the top, then yeah, they'll get their due. But I just think Lanning is a runner-up to me because Oregon hasn't been to that mountaintop that I can remember.
Close.
And then
And Lanning, to me, I'm just biased toward Lanning's personality. Again, these stuff you can see on the internet, it's just I would want to be part of that, but it's Oregon and they are rich, and so they're not an underdog I can get behind.
In any way.
I mean, no one in the Big Ten is poor, but I don't know. I think part of college football is I'm looking for people who did it despite the odds.
I'll retract that last part. Rutgers is very much poor. I think they lose money on athletics every year.
Yeah, well, Rutgers, they wouldn't be poor if they didn't spend. They're trying to keep up with everybody else in my T-shirt in the Big Ten.
Yes.
I'm wearing the
You're
full,
wearing the shirt
full
right now.
membership.
Yeah.
Our friends in New Brunswick.
I think that Dan Lanning also, he has that. He didn't do it in the Pac-12. It's going to be more difficult to do it in the Big Ten, especially given new realignments that's bound to happen eventually.
But I mean,
the Pac-12 thing doesn't really matter that much. It's just something that I think about, the fact that he couldn't beat that Washington team that year, they would have been in the playoff.
to be an advocate for Dan Lanning for a second, he has almost half as many Big Ten championships as Ryan Day right now. Ryan Day only has 2. One during the COVID year and then one in 2019. Dan Lanning has 1. And that was because he beat Ohio State in the regular season and then beat Penn State in the Big Ten championship.
My counterpoint to that is, how much are we going to factor in conference championships in 10 years when we're going to keep expanding, possibly, and it won't even matter if you win it because you're just going to get it anyway if you're a Big Ten team.
Are conference championship games even going to exist? Now, you could say you're a conference champ by virtue of being the highest regular season finisher.
At one point, bowl games were a significant boost of caliber and prestige, and that were sort of outweighed. So conference championships games are kind of the next thing in line almost.
JJ, how dare you discount the 68 Ventures Bowl?
Yeah, besides Ventures Bowl.
Besides the 68 Ventures Bowl, that's the most important one.
Audacity.
You know who's going to be in the hunt for a Big Ten title before long? My guy, Bob Chesney at UCLA.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You think so, yeah?
Yes. Bob Chesney is the along the Signetti mold. I knew Chesney was a big name in the FCS at Holy Cross, okay, up in Mass, all right, Worcester, Mass. Chesney goes to JMU. Now, JMU is like a pretty good, like, JJ, you were just talking about being in Harrisonburg. Like, we understand. Yeah. It's like a miniature UD, nice campus. Not like Newark, but
they are miniature us.
It's a little bit bigger, honestly.
I'm saying
I think the campus,
in terms of it's not quite the same. The Bluestone, I get it. It's not quite the same as the brick of Memorial. Here, it's not the same appeal.
I picked here at the end of the day.
In the end of the day, there's a reason for that. Oh, yeah. All I'm saying is Chesney was successful at JMU, which shouldn't. JMU is. I don't want to say an easy place to be successful, but they've had a lot of momentum. So
they have great reresources there compared to the other Group of 5 schools.
Notice that you didn't go to school there. You avoided all their student fees for athletics. JMU student fees, helping. Anyway, their economics are interesting. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not trying to undersell what Chesney did at JMU. Like that was huge. Getting into the bracket, that's big time. Now, yes, they got help in the ACC situation, but the point is, Chesney, I'm hitching my wagon to his. Tim, I saw you reposting that video of Chesney in the UCLA team meeting where he was like, "What's that guy's name? We should know everybody's names."
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Like that's who Chesney is. Like that's not an act, at least in my experience. Yeah. So,
but let's talk about UCLA for a minute because they kind of got hot towards the end of the year. Of course, starting out 0-4 does nothing when you're trying to be a competitive team, and that's what UCLA wants to be in day out. That's the whole reason they're in the Big Ten. They want to be competitive. They want to be on a bigger stage rather than in the decaying Pac-12. And with UCLA now kind of finding their groove. I know Nico has another year. They still have some of the retained core that went on that Cinderella run, beating Penn State and just basically showing out towards the end of the year. Of course, they unfortunately missed the bowl game, but I think they can be competitive. I see them being in the middle of the pack.
Can we see their schedule? Can we see the Bruins schedule?
Yes, we can.
My MacBook is charging. I'm on the shelf in that respect. So I'm counting on researchers beside me to help me out, That's what happens when you're an UNC.
I need to get off of Bing, though. I think I need to switch over to Google Chrome.
Bing. Yeah. I gotta say. Yeah, Bro's been on Bing the whole time.
I just got a new computer.
Oh, did you really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just switched from Mac to HP for the Excel purposes. Business major.
Yeah.
So I had to switch over.
Yeah.
I've just been using the default. So they have Cal week 1, San Diego State week 2.
2 wins.
You think 2-0?
I think 2-0.
Okay.
I think Cal.
Purdue, so 3-0.
Yep.
Maryland.
Oh yeah, that can be a win.
Is that
for UCLA?
4-0. Okay. Bye week, automatic loss versus Oregon. So we're at 4-1. Wisconsin
at the Rose Bowl.
I think it's a loss.
I think it's a loss.
Was Fickle not in the hot seat for Wisconsin this most recent season?
He was, but then he came back.
Yeah, Wisconsin's not. This is not Melvin Gordon walking through that door, okay? Or Russell Wilson.
All right, we'll say 5-1 then.
Let's be kind. We'll say 5-1.
They
Michigan State.
It's like
6-1.
I give it to them.
Really? They're gonna drop one of these games.
Okay, even
they're gonna lose to Wisconsin.
Okay,
Still
Nevada win.
So now we're at 7-2.
7-1.
7-1.
Minnesota.
Are they rowing the boat? They're rowing the boat to
Minnesota. I guess a loss.
Well, it's Minnesota in November, so you probably say
it's a loss.
Yeah, let's say that's a loss.
Illinois is gonna.
We're giving them too many of these like mediocre wins. They're going to lose to Minnesota. They're going to lose to Illinois. So 7-3. They're going to lose to Michigan 7-4. They're going to lose to USC 7-5.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
That's a long stretch they go on of losses.
Playing USC,
but that's a long stretch of wins at the beginning of the year.
Let's just say they're 7-1 going into November. Like they're going to have some momentum going.
All of the good teams besides Oregon are in their last 3 games. So
I'm not.
Okay, so what I'm saying is bowl game. Book the bowl game for UCLA.
I could definitely see 5-7 to 7-5 as their like range. Like I think that's definitely possible for them. I don't love their team though. I mean, what do they do in the portal? I have no idea. And is Nico coming back or is he gone?
Did UCLA
Nico's coming back.
Did UCLA welcome Wayne Knight from JMU? That guy's from the state of Delaware. That guy's a really good, multi-talented back. Learn the name. Wayne Knight.
Is there?
I believe
he's joined UCLA. Wayne Knight. But again, this is like a Bing search away.
Is there?
I think they lose their last. Dan, I think they dropped their last 4 games in a row. I think that
Pressman extends that.
22nd nationally, according to One.com. I mean, that's potential, man. They could be good. They could definitely. I don't know if they're going to be the next Indiana. I think that's definitely what we're going to be searching for these next few years. Is like, who's going to be the next Indiana?
Think about Cignetti's first year of Indiana, right? The first regular season. Wasn't it like kind of like a soft schedule early on, and it was like these? They were
no,
able to
they did not have a good schedule. They lost to Ohio State, and then I think
early on
though,
it was they played Ohio State later on. I think,
but they lost. They won every other game. They didn't play anyone else good.
I'm thinking about Indiana 2024 season. But again, I'm not.
You're right.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Cignetti's first year, I'm pretty sure he played Ohio State late, but at the beginning they played all cakewalks.
Cignetti's been there for 2 years or 3 years. Was he there 1 year before they made the college football playoff, or was his first year of the college football playoff?
His first year was the college football playoff.
Yeah, no, he made the college football playoff both years.
Yeah.
So 2024.
But then they played Notre Dame, and it was like, okay,
it was bad.
That was kind of the reputation that they had. But
so 2024 Indiana was FIU win, Western Illinois win, UCLA win, Charlotte win, Maryland win, Northwestern win, Nebraska win, Washington win, Michigan State win. They beat Michigan, but that was the year. That was the year Michigan wasn't good though. I'm pretty sure that was the year that
Michigan won 75.
Michigan they beat Ohio State and everyone was freaking out. That was that year. Then they lost to Ohio State by 23, and then they beat Purdue by 66. Lost to Notre Dame only by 10, and they were in the national championship game. So you know what, man?
The 2 teams they lost to were the 2 teams that played for the national championship.
When I wrote about them this year for the paper, and I mean, not to say that I called it, but I called it. I said it was going to be their best season in program history. I thought that they had a better roster, a better fit against Ohio State and teams like Notre Dame, and that was sort of what Cignetti, if he could get over that hump, they're going to be in the championship game. That's what happened.
For this most recent Indiana season.
Indiana season.
Yeah.
They made the adjustments. They had a better roster, older players, star quarterback.
The reason
Fernando Mendoza.
Star quarterback, star transfer.
The reason I brought up the Indiana 2024 because I think that's what UCLA can be this coming fall.
You think they're going to be a one-loss team potentially?
Look at that schedule. We just made a prediction going game by game in the UCLA 2026 schedule where it's like, you can see where it'd be a one-loss team. Now, before they run into the gauntlet late in the year.
Well, we have to see what Michigan is. I don't think they're winning in Austin. That's the thing. I think that if there is a loss, it's going to come.
The problem is that they have UCLA has like that stretch down the road that Indiana never had. Indiana never had a stretch of tough teams. So that's definitely going to be a struggle for them.
I mean, there was a middle of that first schedule. You were like Michigan State, Washington. I know that none of them are like to the caliber of Michigan. They haven't been that great
recently.
I know, but those weren't like cupcake games.
I mean, if we look at Indiana's schedule this year,
if you want a team who will probably be a dark horse, I would say OSU,
Oklahoma State.
They got
not Ohio State.
Oklahoma State. They had a lot of the North Texas Mean Green transfer over. They got Nestamaker, they got the running back, and they have kind of a soft schedule. The only 2 notable teams are Texas Tech and Oregon. So with this improved roster, improved coaching, I think you could see a huge improvement from Oklahoma State. Do I think they make the playoffs? I think they're probably maybe 1 game out of it. Maybe they end 14.
See,
but
I don't know if I'm there with you, Press. I don't know if I'm there with you.
I could see them being a decent Big 12 team. The other just natural instinct that went off in my head was Florida, because Florida was another team that got a big coach this offseason.
But they lost so much in the portal.
But I was just about to say, like, you're looking at their schedule, like, let's go. That's not. Bing is not it.
JJ accidentally tapped
Campbell.
The Campbell fighting camel schedule.
Gaylord the Camel.
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
Florida schedule is Florida Atlantic 1-0, Campbell 2-0.
Well, hold on a second. Sorry to interrupt. Florida losing this USF, right? This most recent season. So
never mind. We're not even going to say. We're not going to say.
Florida Atlantic, they've got an offense, right? With the Kitley. Don't they have Kitley? Anyway.
Then we got Auburn, Ole Miss, Mizzou, South Carolina, Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Vanderbilt, Florida State. Not a single game in there that I could definitely say, yeah, you know what? They're definitely going to win.
I mean, besides Campbell, right? The Campbell.
No, I meant after Campbell.
Okay.
Like, any SEC team could be any SEC team any week.
Does Campbell play football in the CAA?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yep.
Campbell didn't move up or down.
Oh, no. Campbell's just FCS football.
They're staying put
for life.
Well, for the foreseeable future,
about moving up.
Oh, that's another good topic, yeah.
We should talk about North Dakota State and Sacramento State real quick.
Yeah.
North Dakota State moving up to the Mountain West, decent mid-major conference, and Sacramento State moving to the MAC, the Middle American Conference. They're in California. Why?
I know.
Well, they're saying the Atlantic
insane.
Coast Conference has Cal in it.
It's insane, right?
Yeah.
I want to shout out the review. I have an article about this coming out.
The amount of plugs that this kid.
The amount of plugs that this guy.
Yeah.
That
Half our
puts in.
airtime is just him plugging.
No, I would say half.
No,
It's
but
been,
like
it's been on topic.
I did like a little bit of research about this. I think it's definitely an interesting move for Sacramento State. They're doing a lot. They're paying a lot of money to go into the conference, like $20 plus million.
I think it's 27.
Yeah, and
I
then
think that was one of the numbers.
they
I
have to
saw.
pay
It was
for
27.
airfare. They have to pay for airfare for opposing teams every week. They
Oh.
get no media split at all for the first 5 years, I think, which is
Well, that's 5 years.
That's
Is the full
all
year of
that's
the term.
the entire agreement
so
with the MAC.
then the
5
MAC
years.
could even be like, yeah, no, bye-bye. They make no money potentially off of this. It's a really big gamble to promote themselves, and I mean, they have a lot of a rich alumni base, I guess, or else this wouldn't be possible. But I think North Dakota State's move is just kind of lateral, like, this is going to happen eventually.
Oh, North Dakota State had to do this
We're just
eventually.
waiting on South Dakota State to join them.
South Dakota State will join
Jack
them
Rabbits.
soon. That's the next domino to fall,
I've been discussing.
for sure.
It should be not. I haven't discussed it with you guys tonight yet, but I've been bringing it up with Conference USA just fans. I don't mean to say Conference USA people like I'm talking to sources.
Gurus.
Some Conference USA school gurus, just fans though.
Yes.
About Conference USA should give serious consideration to South Dakota State University for football only, as a football only option.
Why wouldn't they?
South Dakota State. Think about it here. Think about what the going rate has just become for football only membership in an FBS conference, because North Dakota State has a hefty entrance for football only entrance fee to the Mountain West. Sacramento State certainly a very pricey cost admission to the MAC for football only. So I'm thinking about
What were we? $5 million?
what could conference? Well, that's just the $5 million for Delaware is just straight up
That's to the NCAA.
Reclassification application. fee.
NCAA always
Right.
takes $5 million.
Yeah.
The conference gets to choose how much they
Right.
want.
The conference entry
So
fees are
it's like
very-
a negotiation sort of.
Right.
North Dakota State definitely had more leverage over the Mountain West compared to what Sac State had over
Because
the
let's
MAC.
face it, the Mountain West lost its biggest
Yeah.
contribution. They lost
North
Boise
Dakota State comes in as the most prestigious school in the conference, and they haven't even played a game yet.
Yeah, North Dakota State is going to be a good competitive boost to the Mountain West. I think South Dakota State would also be a competitive boost to Conference USA.
I completely
really do
agree, yeah.
in football.
I mean,
extends the northern latitude of from Newark, Delaware to where do they play in
Brookings, South Dakota, and
Where-
I've
what's
been
that?
there.
What's that?
Brookings, South
Brookings.
Dakota. Yes.
Is that by Pierre? By the,
I you know what? I had the privilege of calling Delaware football on this station in the FCS playoffs at South Dakota State
in the Mount
in
Rushmore
2022.
South Dakota State's real.
South Dakota State, a real place. Look up on Bing and look up the South Dakota State football stadium. Just check it out. I mean, it's a nice looking.
that's not only
it's a
in
nice place.
Missoula,
I
Montana
don't
as well.
have my.
Dan?
I don't
Yes.
remember my source for this, but I heard rumblings of Montana looking into
I did too.
looking into Pac-12 membership, not Mountain West membership, but Pac-12.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where these schools will line up. It would just make sense for the Mountain West to get South Dakota State. I mean, why wouldn't they want to go out there and get that rivalry? It would be big for them. And my favorite part about it is it makes geographic sense.
Yeah.
It's like all things are right in the world when something makes sense in my head. And I really like that. I like that for them. I think that South Dakota State would be great ad for the CUSA. I mean, when you think about it, CUSA is a little bit more Eastern, or at least now it's going to be. UTEP is leaving. So there's not that
Tech
many.
is also leaving.
Right.
Yeah, so there's not
Eventually.
that many, like...
I thought they were going this year. La Tech. They were
La
going to
Tech.
the
Well, there's a
Sun
reason we
Belt.
couldn't go
Where's
through.
La Tech's going to where?
Sun
Sun
Belt.
Belt.
The Sun Belt?
We couldn't go game by game with the Delaware football schedule, which Tim would have loved probably doing.
I would have loved.
I mean,
it.
he just like eating it up.
Oh, I would have.
But the thing about it is we don't have a
Delighted.
Delaware football
I would be
schedule
delighted.
yet for this season, because will La Tech be in CUSA this fall, or will they leave for the Sun Belt in time for this fall?
It's interesting,
The
man.
people are working it out behind, the
Behind closed
negotiations,
doors,
the
yes,
the
it's
exit costs.
the Jordan Skolniks.
Yeah, the Jordans of the world. Yes, we're advocating for Conference USA. South,
Wait, and
surely.
doesn't the Sun Belt still use conferences? So wouldn't they have
Or
uneven
divisions.
divisions?
Yeah,
Wouldn't they
yeah.
have uneven
So
divisions?
the Sun Belt has
Oh.
an incentive to get this right for this year.
So they need to get another team, probably, right? Unless they're just going to ditch it. They might just ditch it.
For this season, if they can't get
the
La
Sun
Tech
Belt
this
was
year,
looking to add Toledo, I think.
or Ohio.
The
Toledo or
I mean,
Ohio.
Ohio may have been kicking the tires on that. Now the MAC, that's where the MAC, like, hey, maybe the MAC is trying to get on the offensive after Sacramento State. It's like maybe the MAC is like, we have to be more
Because the MAC
aggressive.
lost NIU to the Mountain West.
The problem is that all these really good FCS programs, or at least not all of them, but a lot of them that are left, are these like Western, like Northwestern schools that like wouldn't fit geographically with the Sun Belt, the CUSA, even kind of the MAC. Like, when you think about Northeastern schools that can make the jump up, I mean, there's not that many that come to mind. Like maybe like Villanova eventually, but like they're in the Big East, kind of like that's their sphere. They're not really a football school. Rhode Island,
Stony Brook
probably might make the jump eventually. I mean, at this rate, with where everything's going,
So
it's all about who's next.
Stony Brook, I don't think would have the money to.
Nah, Stony Brook's got more money than you think.
I mean, they're
in
in New York,
it's
though.
Long Island.
I live by
Island.
Stony Brook. I know how much.
But
they
what I'm
have.
saying is, they're like they want to be like Buffalo. Like they're a flagship, in New York.
Yep.
It's Stony Brook. It's Buffalo.
I will say it's almost been a year since
Yeah.
we went down to D.C. to call the Stony. Well, you and McCarthy called the Stony Brook.
Yes.
Delaware game, and then me and the great Ethan Feger called the Camels game the day after that, and the rest is history, as this.
Wait, can I ask Press how close are you to Stony Brook? So if I'm ever up there, I want to swing by the Pressman
residence.
I'm like 30 minutes away.
So really, are you even further down the island than Stony Brook, or are you a little bit more in on the island, closer
I'm
to
like
the city?
smack in the middle of Long Island.
Really?
Right in
I
the
didn't
middle.
realize that. I actually didn't know that.
Right
I
in
didn't
the
remember
middle
that.
of Long Island.
Is that right?
You couldn't have placed it I'm
Really?
right in the middle.
So do you prefer going to Hofstra or Stony Brook for kicks? To go out in the town, a little bit of
the pride.
some CAA,
pride
some work in the room.
I'll take the train into the city, personally.
Yeah, you just go right to the Big Apple.
None of the above.
Yeah.
Metro Park.
Yeah. Well, you're a North Jersey guy, JJ, so you know where you're going. You're just
A little bit, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I know my kind of way around. I mean, I want to know what Pressman does, though.
yeah. Like I'm curious. Like, have you? So you've been to Stony Brook more than Hofstra, probably.
I have to drive through Stony Brook to go to get my haircut, actually.
Really?
So I drive through the campus.
Okay.
It's a very spread out campus. It's not like walkable. It's not walkable at all.
So you've been to
actually.
Laval Stadium. We have that in common.
Yes, I have actually.
Wow.
Yep.
Have I
love
stepped
that.
foot in there? No.
No.
But I have driven past majority of Stony Brook campus. I've actually visited there once. Not on like a college visit. I just want to go say hi to my friend real quick. But I do have to say, I would like Hofstra more. Stony Brook is a very unwelcoming place. It's not fun to walk around there unless you want to get hit by a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you find that appealing, the strategy is you hop on the subway at Fern Rock, you take it down to NRG Stadium, you emerge, and all of a sudden you're in South Philly when it's time for Birds playing in playoffs.
Yeah, I'm good.
I mean, simple as that.
I'm good.
Passing.
I haven't seen playoff football since I was 4 years old.
I think we just take the subway into the city. We hit up the Bronx, and we have a good time at Yankee Stadium.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Looks like there's people itching to get in here outside. Should I do my Will impression to end?
Yep.
All right. For Jason Pressman, Tim Shooks, to JJ Rella, and Dan Steenkamer, this is Overtime Opinions. This will not be on Henscast because I do not know how to do that. So we might be back on next week. We might not be back on next week. I guess that's the question that we'll have to answer. But stay tuned to Instagram, where Jason Pressman answers that $1 million question. See you possibly next Wednesday. Thanks for listening.